This week, the Senate held a hearing with the CEO of Netflix on whether or not him merging his company with Warner Brothers Discovery would amount to an illegal monopoly or violate any kind of antitrust laws. But rather than actually talking about the laws and what this mega merger could do, no, Republicans decided that they wanted to just use this opportunity to blast the CEO of Netflix for having transgender content on their platform, which, as tough guy, manly man Josh Hawley said, was against his personal beliefs. So why are you letting it on there? Right? Because if Josh Hawley doesn't like something, then nobody else in the world is allowed to enjoy it. That is effectively what Josh Hawley told Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos. He also falsely claimed that almost half of Netflix content for young children promotes a transgender ideology agenda, providing no evidence to back that up at all, or even telling us what a transgender ideology agenda is. But Josh Hawley said, quote, "I don't want my kids being pushed an agenda about their sexuality or gender identity when I have not had the opportunity first to discuss it with them and to form them in that." Form them. So basically, Hawley starts by saying, look, I don't want my kids to voluntarily watch a streaming platform that I voluntarily subscribe to because I haven't had a chance to indoctrinate my own kids yet, and they may start having ideas of their own. He continues, and frankly, on behalf of parents around the country, it offends me that Netflix is pushing this content at parents in what seems to be a very coordinated, thought-through, planned-out agenda in a way that, frankly, I think undermines parents. At that point, Sarandos told him, like, hey, man, you can actually, we've got some pretty good parental controls, and if there's a topic or issue or thing you don't like, you can actually prevent your kids from watching that. You as a parent, have to take a little bit of initiative, though, if you want to do that. But yeah, you can. Also, nobody's forcing you to subscribe to Netflix, asshole. If you don't like what's on there, don't watch it. Okay? It's not like this is involuntarily being piped into your house every single day. You made a choice to subscribe. You're making a choice to let your kids use it without the parental controls that we obviously put there for this very specific purpose. So what's your problem, tough guy? Can you not figure out technology? He then reminded Hawley that other parents may have different values. You're not the only person on the planet, Josh Hawley. We are parents at Netflix as well. We share all your concerns about raising kids and also the ability to raise them as you see fit in your household and anyone else's household as well. But then Josh Hawley let the mask slip, saying, quote, "My concern is that you don't share my values." Why does that concern you? Why does it concern you if another human being doesn't share your values? They're entitled to not share your values. Everybody's entitled to their own values and their own beliefs, Josh. Do you not understand that? That is terrifying, folks. That is a terrifying quote coming from a sitting lawmaker in modern day America. I'm concerned you don't share my values, and therefore all of this other content that I'm never going to watch has to go away. He also referred to trans representation as a, quote, highly sexualized, highly controversial agenda. Listen, Josh, I know you wrote a book about what it means to be a manly man, even though you look like you weigh 100 pounds soaking wet, you don't have a chin. I could basically snap you in half with my bare hands if I wanted. You're not a man. You're not manly. You're overly insecure in your manhood, which is why you wrote the book. But more importantly, if you look at a transgender person and the first thing you think in your mind is that, oh, sex. Uh-oh, you just learned something about yourself, didn't you? Right? That's the same reason that the highest view rates for transgender adult films are all in red states. Or the fact that the Grindr app for, same-sex hookups always overloads in areas that are having Republican conventions. I have never in my life seen a more closeted group of people than the modern-day Republican Party. I swear to God, all of them have issues that they need to work out. They're the only ones oppressing the things that they clearly want to act on. We welcome it. We embrace it. If that's who you are, great. Celebrate it. And we will protect you from persecution from people like Josh Hawley, who, in my opinion, clearly seems to be repressing who he really is, and of course, what he's actually attracted to. And I think that is where this whole little rant about way too sexual transgender people on Netflix came from.